Hello, and welcome to the United Kingdom of Christ podcast. This is your host, Glenn Griego, coming to you from the beautiful Denver metro area. I want to thank you for taking the time to join me for this Bible study session. Hope you find these episodes as amazing as I do, having the opportunity to make them for you. If you'd like to connect with me, you can follow me on X. My handle is UK_Christ. I can also be reached via email at uk.christ@outlook.com. You can also call or text me at 720-805-8886. Please don't hesitate to reach out with any questions, comments, whatever you need. If it's within my means, I'll definitely help. I look forward to interacting with you. Thanks. So today we're here in Genesis 21, and we're going to be covering verses 1 through, I do believe it's 21. Yes, it is 21. So let's go ahead and knock these out real quick. Then the Lord took note of Sarah as he had said, and the Lord did for Sarah as he had promised. So Sarah conceived and bore a son to Abraham in his old age, at the appointed time of which God had spoken to him. Abraham called the name of his son who was born to him, whom Sarah bore to him, Isaac. Then Abraham circumcised his son Isaac when he was 8 days old, as God had commanded him. Now Abraham was 100 years old when his son Isaac was born to him. Sarah said, God has made laughter for me. Everyone who hears will laugh with me. And she said, Who would have said to Abraham that Sarah would nurse children? Yet I have borne him a son in his old age. The child grew and was weaned, and Abraham made a great feast on the day that Isaac was weaned. Now Sarah saw the son of Hagar the Egyptian, whom she had borne to Abraham, mocking. Therefore she said to Abraham, Drive out this maid and her son, for the son of this maid shall not be an heir with my son Isaac. The matter distressed Abraham greatly because of his son. But God said to Abraham, Do not be distressed because of the lad and your maid. Whatever Sarah tells you, listen to her. For through Isaac your descendants shall be named, and of the son of the maid I will make a nation also, because he is your descendant. So Abraham rose early in the morning and took bread and a skin of water and gave them to Hagar, putting them on her shoulder, and gave her the boy and sent her away. And she departed and wandered about in the wilderness of Beersheba. When the water in the skin, one second. Sorry about that. When the water in the skin was used up, she left the boy under one of the bushes. Then she went and sat down opposite him, about a bow shot away. For she said, Do not let me see the boy die. And she sat opposite him and lifted up her voice and wept. God heard the lad crying, and the angel of God called to Hagar from heaven and said to her, What is the matter with you, Hagar? Do not fear, for God has heard the voice of the lad where he is. Arise, lift up the lad and hold him by the hand, for I will make a great nation of him. Then God opened her eyes, and she saw a well of water. And she went and filled the skin with water and gave the lad a drink. God was with the lad, and he grew. And he lived in the wilderness and became an archer. He lived in the wilderness of Paran, and his mother took a wife for him from the land of Egypt. So, talk about a difficult decision, right? Hostilities had obviously grown between Hagar and Sarah, and Hagar was mocking Sarah because she had just had a child, probably thinking to herself, well, I had a child so many years before you did, and my son is so amazing. But either way, happy wife, happy life, right? Some fellas understand what I'm saying, some don't. I'm not married, but I am familiar with the actual saying, and I can understand where it may come into play at certain times in our life as men. So, but Abraham is distressed. He's like, my wife and Hagar are not getting along. What am I supposed to do about this? And the Lord says, listen to what Sarah tells you, and I'll take care of Ishmael. I've got Hagar, I've got Ishmael. Go ahead and listen to what Sarah has to say. And as we've discussed earlier, Ishmael is Islam. Once again, don't believe me? Do whatever. But either way, both descendants of the Lord. But if you actually see it, the Lord says that the descendants of Abraham will be through Isaac, not through Ishmael. So what does that tell us? That as we continue throughout our journey through the Bible, the Lord has made a decision that it was Abraham and Sarah's marriage and their descendants. Although Ishmael is a descendant of Abraham, Abraham was never married to Hagar, and Ishmael, Islam, has done extremely well. But the descendants will go through Isaac's line, through Abraham and Sarah's children. And it's extremely powerful as we continue to go on throughout the entire study of the Bible. We will see how the reconciliation of all mankind does come through Abraham, Sarah, Isaac, going down the line. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to this episode. Once again, this is Glenn Griego, your host of the United Kingdom of Christ podcast. If you'd like to connect with me, I can be followed on X at UK_Christ. I can also be reached via email at uk.christ@outlook.com. Feel free to text or call me at 720-805-8886. Thanks so much and have a beautiful day. God bless.